Edition, AMPC, Mark 14 summary. Reading notes. Verses 1 through 2. Days of Passover, the unleavened bread festival. The chief priests and scribes that were seeking to arrest Jesus. Verse 3 through 9. While in Bethany at Simon the leper's house, a woman with an alabaster jar of anointment perfume and poured it over Jesus' head. There were people upset of the wasted perfume. The value of it could be used for the poor. Jesus responded, "The poor you will have always, but me I will not." Jesus' identification of the preparation before his burial. Wherever the gospel is proclaimed in all the world, memory of her will be done. Verse 10 through 11. Judas Iscariot went to the chief priests to betray Jesus for money. Verse 12. Jesus, on the first day of unleavened bread, had to have Passover supper to kill the Passover lamb. Jesus gave directions to the disciple of where they were going to have the ceremony, and they followed his directions. It ended up in a upper room. Verse 17 through 25. At the Passover ceremony, Jesus said to the one who will betray him was present, and disciples asked, "Is it me?" And Jesus said, "The one dipping bread in the same deep dish." Jesus said it will be better if he was never born. Jesus identified his body as the bread of his blood and the price from the grapes, and is the juice from the grapes. The blood is the new covenant. Jesus said he will not drink of the grape juice till he is in heaven, and it will be the best quality. It's 26 through 31. Jesus and the disciples went to the Mount of Olives, and Jesus foretold all disciples will fall away. Peter said he won't, and Jesus said he not only will fall away, but he will deny him 3 times in such a serious way before the rooster crows twice. Verse 32 through 52. At Gethsemane, Jesus said, "Sit and pray." The disciples were struck with terror and amazement, trouble, and depressed. Jesus went and talked to God, falling to the ground, and asked to take the cup, meaning the will of God, from him. But he will do God's will. Jesus woke the disciples and said, "Cannot you pray for an hour? The Spirit of God is willing, but the flesh is weak." The third time this happened, Jesus said, "The hour has come, the Messiah is betrayed." Judas Iscariot and the chief priests with others came, and Judas kissed Jesus, identifying him, and they seized Jesus. Jesus' bystanders cut off one of the bondservants' ears of the chief priest. Jesus said, "You could not have done this any time. Why treat me as a robber?" All the disciples forsake Jesus. 53 through 65. They took Jesus to the high priest, and the chief priests and scribes were present. Peter followed in a distance. The high and chief priests were always seeking Jesus' false witness against Jesus, and individuals spoke. The testimonies did not agree with each other. The high priest and the chief priests asked if he was the Messiah, the Christ, and Jesus said, "I am." The chief priests and high priest said, "We have enough to find Jesus guilty and put to death," and began to spit and hit Jesus. Verse 66 through 72. Peter was questioned 3 times of Jesus' disciple and knew Jesus, and Peter each time denying seriously he wasn't and didn't know Jesus. The rooster crowed a second time, as Jesus said, and Peter remembered after the rooster crowed the second time. Peter was so sad and lamented.